Let's start making some clarifications because sometimes a lot of people try to put cheap people and frugal people on the same bag, and there is some clear differences between them. The frugal people are the positive, nice, happy people that are super eager to share what they have in their hands with the people they love. Frugal people live on an abundance mindset, whereas cheap people are all about self-loading, and on the other side, opposite to frugal, they live on a scarcity mindset. And I guess that was a pretty clear explanation of the differences between these two groups of people. Frugal people live between their means. A frugal person will budget carefully and will make sure he or she saves part of their income. Frugal people save up for big purchases, and also they always like to have an emergency fund for times of need. Fundamentals of being frugal are basically you save money, you save yourself lots of energy to be able to use time very efficiently to free up space for what really matters and for what really adds value to your life and makes you as a whole a better asset. Let's say, for example, someone with more knowledge as before, someone more skillful, and therefore someone more confident. Which is the main benefit of being frugal? Well, the answer is pretty simple: freedom. Well, frugality will give you a certain level of financial stability that will afford you options. When you are not in debt and you don't have to live paycheck after paycheck, then you can make decisions on what you want for your life and not what you have to do for surviving. Well, debt and having way too many things to take care of leads to a lot of stress, unhappiness, worry, and anxiety. Living a more simple, minimalistic existence can make you happier and lighter than living lavishly, accumulating a lot of nonsense you will barely ever use. What's the problem when you spend more than what you can afford? Well, of course, the answer is pretty obvious. You will be in debt, but I want to go more in depth in this whole concept. What an absolute waste of money and energy it's to try to showcase someone we really aren't and someone we cannot realistically afford in the long run. And then the people who you attract portraying who you really aren't, they like what you showcase, but they have no clue who you really are. And when they find out you aren't what you pretend to show, chances are they will walk away. Actually, they will probably run away. So, what a whole absurd scenario that one is. Why do I choose to be frugal? Well, because I hate to accumulate stuff on the corner. I guess that thinking of clutter as roommates not paying the rent is spot on. I think of clutter as things that aren't serving me. I am serving them with my time, mental attention, and physical energy. I think we do have greatly confused needs versus wants. For example, I think United States is the most over-consumer place on earth. I lived there for a few years and I can hands down affirm that it's the most consumerist country that I've ever been. You find everywhere people who have more than one job because they need to pay the bills. And almost everybody there lives in debt. I am convinced it's a pretty serious addiction that is just glossed over as just having too much stuff. When I was a kid, I remember having these programs on TV where there were people helping hoarders to clean up their houses. I found that the whole dynamic of that TV show was so pathetic in a way that like they were sending these hoarders on holidays while in the meantime a whole team of people break into the house and like get rid of lots and lots of junk, and after like a week the house will look absolutely minimalist and immaculate. But it's absolutely weird because they were not teaching the hoarders anything, they were just doing everything for them. I bet you if you would get to go to the houses of those people a year later, they would have had accumulated so much crap again. If we declutter but we don't minimize the stuff coming back to the house, it will be a never ending cycle of waste. I know so many people who accumulate stuff compulsively and they don't even see it. Like, if they hear any accusations, they will get like, no, 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 I really need all this stuff. And they will explain you why exactly they need all the stuff they have around, but they won't see the problem. But to me, now it's pretty simple. If you have stuff in your house that you haven't been using for the last years, then just share the love. Give it to someone who can make a good use of it, who can benefit out of it. Or if you don't want to give it away, just sell it. If you sell, you will sell at a loss. But at least it's a great lesson to learn. And in the future, think thoroughly before buying stuff. Do I really need this? How many times in a whole year I will be realistically using this? How much maintenance this will take? Do I have the time to take care of this? It's not about declutter, it's about changing from inside out. If you're a hoarder or if you are someone who accumulates stuff you don't get to use often, it's because inside you lives a chaos of feelings and emotions too. And the exterior disorganization or the unnecessary accumulation of stuff, it's just mirroring outside what lives inside. Maybe you are carrying inside you with a lot of heavy weight from the past. Maybe you are carrying with people in your life that shouldn't be in your life anymore. You are holding a lot of weight on your shoulders through the years that you should not have been doing. So because you're cluttering inside, that shows outside. It's as simple as that. Nothing that doesn't live inside will materialize outside. But at the end of the day, no one can help someone who accumulates a lot of stuff except from that person itself. It's just a matter of acknowledgement followed by an eager desire to change internally. I personally became a minimalist 10 years ago and I will never look back. The real enlightenment came a few years ago when I realized that real minimalism doesn't just finish with material stuff. We all have questionable friends, family members, partners who add nothing to our lives. So by slowly and cautiously walking away from those people and then starting new relationships, it's when finally my declutter journey was finished and I became a truly minimalist. My frugal habits through the years have accelerated my independence. I bought my own house and I stopped working when my baby was born. In the meantime, my boyfriend works, and that's absolutely enough for us. And for me to be able to raise my daughter is absolute gold. I plan to go back to work in the future, but as for now, I quit my job and I recovered from burnout and from some health issues that I had. And yes, it was absolutely great to have the ability to have that option to decide to be a stay at home mom for a few years. And yes, frugality give me that option. I, through frugality, give myself that possibility. And I couldn't feel more blessed for 10 years ago having initiated that frugal pathway. I learned that a roof over your head, homemade food, and being surrounded by loving family and friends, it's really all we need. Life can be simple, embrace it. And I know it sounds so cheesy, but listen to me. Listen to me on this one, and if necessary, to do it to your skin. Gratitude is the oxygen of life. If I can summarize this whole video, giving 4 pieces of advice to anyone trying to become frugal, this is what I will say. When you save money, you are giving to your future self. But on the other hand, when you take on debt, you are stealing from your future self. Be aware of little expenses. Over time, a small leak will sink a great ship. We make ourselves rich by making our needs and our wants few. Frugality is not about money, it is about freedom. I have this other video here where I speak all about social anxiety, so if you find that topic interesting, please go over and check it.